Alright, I'm going to give you guys a quick run through of my system, of how I tank and pump my water, how it all works here, all the details. So let's start with the two tanks are both agricultural sprayer tanks that are designed to be mounted on four-wheelers. I have two of them, one's a 30 gallon, one's a 25 gallon. They both come with pumps already, so you can buy them. I bought my first one on Window Cleaning Resource. I don't know if they still have it there. Bought that one at Ace Hardware. The pump comes mounted on it. This pump is a new pump because the old one burned out. And when you buy the new pump, it's just the pump. It's not the manifold system. This came on the first tank that I had, which is pretty slick because what it does is there's a valve here that will regulate the pressure, anything above 60 psi, and the pump will cycle on and off, on and off. It's really annoying and it doesn't give you a solid flow. But if you adjust the pressure with this valve here, it recirculates the water back into the tank and keeps it at an even 60 psi, so it runs smooth. And I'll demonstrate that. I'll turn it on. Comes out of the pump and into my hose reel. This is an air hose reel I bought at Home Depot, and I used a bunch of weird plumbing fittings to get it to match up with the air fittings. This is a quick connect. So if if I run out of water, or if I'm going to be doing a job that requires more than 55 gallons, which is very rare, 55 gallons is I think the sweet spot. I've got a quick connect on here. This is the hose that comes out of the Easy Pure, and there's a quick connect. Where is it? On there, so I can just bring the Easy Pure, hook it up to the hose reel, and still be running the same, out the same system. So it's like a hybrid, I call it. Okay, so that's hooked back up. Air hose reel, there's I think there's between 200 and 300 feet on there. I'm not sure because sometimes I break it and cut it and patch it. There's a couple pieces patched in there, but you need more than 200 feet, that's for sure, to get around an entire big house, especially out here where there's rocks and trees. And anyway, I just mount the pole. The pole's always hooked up. I run the hose in the pole. I like it better that way. It's cleaner. I mean, it's always just all hooked up, so you get there and pull it out and go. What powers the pump is this battery. And there's a switch. I keep the switch on the outside of the box. The box stays closed. Flip the switch on. It's on. So then this is an Optima marine grade battery. So this was a $200 battery, but my brother works as a contractor out in the field, they use these batteries. The thing never goes dead. I mean, I can run this pump and drain both of these tanks probably 5 or 6 times before you'll need to recharge it. It's incredible. So I do keep it topped off all the time. Which usually is a matter of in the morning while I'm filling up these things, if I'm going to use them. I'll also just plug in a charger. I leave everything in here and just gator clamp it. Eventually I'm going to put a little solar charger, mount a solar panel up here, and just have it trickle charging all the time off the solar panel. So that'll never be a problem. But yes, it's an independent battery, not connected to the truck at all. So that's how that works. And let me just demonstrate the pressure. This is the infamous metal rinse bar. I like it. So let me turn it on. You can see what that little pump does, how much pressure. It's a univalve, so a little tug on the line there. Shoot. Step on it. So that's the pressure, which is totally adequate. And of course, as you get higher, you extend the pole 30 feet, pressure drops off a little bit, but it seems to maintain that. And that's off the rinse bar. If you just have it running off the jets, it's even stronger pressure. So completely adequate for residential applications. Now that I've cut the flow, you'll hear the pump's going to catch up and stop. You're gonna have to give it a minute because there we go. So the pump automatically turns off when you stop the flow. That to me is the most crucial feature of this whole system. You don't burn out your pump. You can be 200 feet away and pull the univalve and stop the flow. My univalve's a little leaky. That can't quite get it to clamp on, so the pump might circulate back on. Yeah, there you go, because it is relieving pressure down there. That's my fault, I gotta fix that. But when you build these yourself, you know what's going on all the time, and I can only say that the pump that shuts itself off when you stop the pressure is crucial. So if anybody has any more questions, shoot them my way. I'll be happy to let you know. And then, this was the first version of this I ever built. I'm gonna do it again with one single pump. Oh, and then one other thing I love about this is the redundancy. This other tank has another pump on it, so in the event of this one failing, which it did fail finally after 2.5 years of use, I have a backup pump in that line that also has a quick connect, so I just connect that to the reel, move the battery plug-in over to that pump, and it's redundant. I'll never, if one of them fails, I have another one, and then I order, get myself a new pump and switch it back over, so there's always a backup. That's pretty slick. All right, you guys, thanks.